everyone, I'm Drea.
I'm George.
I'm Jason.
And we're Unfiltered Vines. You know, our unique personalized wine experiences help you discover what wines you love and why you love them. You know, each of us has our own unique palate. Just like you, we love different flavors and aromas and tastes about the wines that we like. So today we're going to get a little bit into the new Elements collection from Chateau Ste Michelle. So maybe we'll talk a little bit first about like the winery itself.
Yeah, so the winery is the actually the oldest winery in the state of Washington, in the Columbia Valley just outside of Seattle. So they've been around for now going on like 5 decades.
Wow.
And they really know what they're doing when it comes to wine. So, you know, one of the interesting things about Chateau Ste Michelle, I've been practicing all day, is that they have 2 vineyards. One where they exclusively grow grapes for their red wine, and another one where they grow grapes for their white wine.
Oh, wow.
And they're not afraid to take chances with making wine, which is what brings us here today.
And let's talk about the bottles
Yeah.
per se. Yeah, just to go off on what George was saying. Look at the bottles. That's great branding right there. Look at that. It looks pretty. The things you want to look at right now is if you actually buy wine, and you guys know this, that when we buy wine, there's usually a grape on here.
Yeah.
But you know what? These don't have a grape. And we just want to let you know that just because it doesn't have a grape, it is wine.
Yeah.
So the branding on it is pretty good. It's eye-catching. It's very eye-catching.
Yeah.
So you can look at it. And just to say, this is a summer wine. However, as you know, you can have wine whenever you want it. Also, the unique thing about these wines is that it's natural flavor.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Natural flavor with it's under 100 calories.
Mm-hmm.
No fruit juice, right?
No fruit juice.
No added alcohol.
It actually has natural flavors.
That's awesome.
Natural flavors are essential oils or essence that comes from the roasting or heating of the spices, the herbs, the fruit juice, vegetables, and this is what it stores. So this is, to me, it's good for me.
Yeah.
I mean, wine's always good for everyone, but you know, these wines come from the Columbia Valley, what George was saying, and it's from 30 different farms. They're known to have the strong fruit aroma and flavors.
That's that Columbia Valley. Yeah, you want to look for that. If you're someone who likes really fruity wines and you go into a wine store and you see an area marked Washington, look for Columbia Valley wines. You're going to get a lot of fruit from those wines.
We should just get into the wines, Trey.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into the wines. So you might notice we've got 2 white wine blends and a rosé, right? So let's talk about the white wine blends first. The first one, the Papaya Jasmine white blend, and also even the peach ginger are both made from Riesling. So Riesling is a wine varietal, right? It's a type of grape that's used to make white wine. And it tends to have, like, because of the high acidity in the wine, like a really like refreshing taste. You know, when you have a wine, you're like, oh, that's like hit the spot, right? There's like a, oh, you know, that is very like Riesling like. So you can get that like refreshingness off the wine. Rieslings also tend to have a very like citrusy kind of taste going. So you want to think like lemon lime. You might sometimes even get like an orange, like a navel orange, or like even sometimes a grapefruit. So it's super interesting that what you've got here is like a papaya jasmine, and then you've got this peach ginger. Right? So let's kick it off and get into these wines because I'm really excited.
All right, yep.
Oh, also, we didn't mention these wines all have a little bit of a fizz to them. Not bubbles, so we're not talking sparkling whites, but a little bit of like an effervescence, right?
So it's not like a champagne.
Not
or
like a
Prosecco.
champagne. It's not going to give you all the bubbles and other, but a little bit of a fizz. Let's see what we taste when we have them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, let's see what we're smelling here. Oh, wow.
I could smell the aromas.
Yeah, it's got like a nice tropical right off the top. Even if I wasn't sure like exactly what, like obviously you can see papaya on that one, but I would definitely smell. It smells like the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're about to like get into a lovely tropical beverage here.
Wow.
You know, I have to say,
Yeah.
I don't like fizz, but I don't really. It's not strong or pungent. It's actually just light.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of like just a little tang. So if you're not someone who normally is like, oh, I'm not like a huge fizz person, you don't have to worry because there really isn't a lot of fizz here. It's just like really kind of like crisp, right? You get, and I don't taste like a lot of, it's not super, super tart, right? It's really nice, very like smooth, I think. Yeah.
But see, to me, it occurs as a little tart, right?
That's interesting.
And I got kind of an earthy sort of scent
off the top.
Off the top.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Is it the same as taste with the earthy?
No.
Just like
no, it could have just been the initial, because we just opened the bottle. We didn't. Yeah. It could. Yeah.
And that's great.
But it does, like, as you drink it more and more, like the lingering flavor. Did you say it tastes like the Caribbean? Who said it tastes like the Caribbean?
I was like,
Yeah,
like
it does taste like,
Yeah, like you're sitting in Jamaica right on
Jamaica.
the beach, just having some papaya.
A little bit of the Caribbean in your own home.
Yeah.
Love it. That's awesome. All right, so let's get into our second white blend. I might have just a sip of water here and just... That way I can definitely taste all of the different flavors and things in the wine. And you don't have to, you can sometimes just have a little bit taste of water, like in between, just to like help remove the flavor of one. Some people call cleansing the palate, right? Just remove the flavor of one wine before you have the other. You don't have to. You also don't have to change your glass. But if you want to, go grab another glass. Do it.
Yeah, it really depends on your palate, on how it reacts to everything.
Awesome.
One of my favorite scenes from the movie Sideways, where they're sitting around drinking wine, and one of the guys says to the other one, he's like, "Here, have some agua fria."
Hilarious. All right, so our next one is the peach ginger. Yeah, and so again, we're gonna get. Obviously, they're pulling for peach. And, if you've ever had fresh ginger, it's a range of tastes, right? Like, ginger can give you, like, strong and, like, very tart. It can get a little bit, like, smoother. It can get a little peppery, right? And, again, peach is not a flavor you normally get from a Riesling. So this is going to be really interesting because it's not on that sort of, like, citrusy note. Peach is more considered like a stone fruit. So it's gonna be really interesting to see what we get and see those little tiny bubbles there and get that little bit of fizz happening.
But it's light. It's very light.
Yeah, you can barely see it.
Yeah, this one.
Shall we?
All right, cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Oh my gosh. Ooh,
Peach
that
candy.
is. Oh my god.
Like now and laters. Like now and laters.
Definitely.
Yeah, now and later. Okay, we're in the 80s now.
Yeah,
no,
like
but
almost
it does
like
smell like that.
Like like a peach marmalade almost. Like
or Jolly Ranchers. It's just
really
strong. It's really strong.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Like,
Let's see. Oh, I taste a lot more fizz on this one.
My thoughts exactly. The fizz, now the fizz is pronounced.
Yes, definitely pronounced fizz.
And I'm a peach fanatic, so it's like, I taste the peach, but since I'm not a fizz fanatic, it kind of, it puts it down for me when it comes to taste. Yeah. It's still there.
Yeah, you still got the peach, but that fizz are a little too effervescent for you, right? Yeah, and for me, it's like, there's like a smoothness about it, definitely. The good thing is, I am not a super sweet wine person, and if you are, awesome. This is a really good in-between. It just starts to go from kind of like medium sweet to kind of a little, like it goes like a little bit towards the sweeter side. So this could be a great option for you if you're someone who's like, I don't like super sweet stuff, but I want a little bit more fruit than normal. This is gonna be your thing.
It has that slight ginger taste. Yeah. Slight, very slight ginger taste.
And the thing about the fizz with the peach, because, peaches just naturally are kind of grainy, that sort of sandy texture. It almost, for me, complements the peach a little bit, right? Because that's what I'm expecting when I eat. I don't eat peaches often because I'm kind of allergic to them, but of the two so far that we've had, this one's my favorite. Like the smell, like you said, now, like it took me, not that I drank in my childhood, but it took me back to when I was a teenager. Yeah, because it did smell like it smells like candy. It smells great. Like, now and later, Jolly Ranchers, like it smells like and not like in a bad sugary way, because is this one also sugar-free?
Yeah, they're
all.
Well, none
and
of them
natural
have
flavors.
any added sugars. Yeah,
Wow.
wine itself does have natural sugars that occur,
Mm-hmm.
but there are no sugars added to these wines.
And one of the things that really surprised me just in looking at the glass afterwards, so there are these things, like, you know, you might notice when you pour a glass of wine, you get like this viscosity
Film,
this film that just starts running down the side of the glass. Those are called legs. And as kind of loose as these wines are, I'm noticing just the legs that are just pouring down the side of the glass, which is really interesting because it doesn't seem like a thick or heavy.
Yeah, it
Because
doesn't.
it
wine
recedes
at all.
quickly compared
Yeah.
to like with thicker wines where
Yeah.
it's just it stays on there for a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to
But
be
then
that
I was
body.
able to see that, because it's like, it's almost like juice, like a fruity, like, yeah. it's
Jolly
like-
Rancher juice.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, but not
Wow.
super sweet, because again, I'm not a super sweet person. This is like it's really about fruit. You get a lot of fruit elements here, and yeah, it's awesome you talked about the legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this would probably be more of like a medium-bodied wine going in that direction versus something super, super, super light, right? So that's awesome. All right, you want to get into our third one?
Okay,
Whoa.
Okay, so
Um,
this is the different one. This is going to be our rosé.
got it. Yeah.
And like Jason said, you know, this is all about you. It's all about your palate. So if you're a rosé person and you're like, summer's over, have rosé when you want to have rosé, right? This is all about you having what you like. And this is
This is the strawberry hibiscus rosé.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And yeah, like Drea was saying, this is normally thought of as a summer wine, but have what you have when you want to have it, right? It could be the dead of winter, it could be 85 feet of snow outside, and this might be just what the doctor ordered, especially on a snowy a snow day. You can't go anywhere, right? One thing I also want to say, like if you're into rosé, you're probably really, from what we've had so far, really going to like this one. And the colors of any rosé, as well as the body, can vary depending on factors like the type of grape that's used, and help me with my pronunciation here, the terroir,
Yeah, that's great.
which
yeah.
is
You did better than me.
Yeah.
thank you, I'm here all week. 2-drink minimum. So yeah, which is the type of soil that and the climate that the grapes are grown in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so that can really impact the taste, the flavor of any wine.
Yeah.
So
And this is a blend, right, George? With different types of grapes?
yeah, this is I think you iterated earlier. How was it? 70,
30.
30
Yeah.
different
this
grapes.
is 30 different grapes. Yep, 30 different vineyards help to source the grapes for these wines.
Right.
This actual rosé is a blend of 3 different types of wine. But
Oh,
before,
right,
You know,
which-
before we get into that, you did talk about like different types of rosé, and if you're a rosé person, one of the ways you can tell the different style of rosé that might most appeal to you is, you know, how the rosé is made, the grape types, and if you want to know a little bit more about rosé and like figuring out how to get to your perfect rosé, you might want to check out our rosé video that we did above on how to find the best rosé for you. You can click the link above
Link
now,
over there. Yep.
We think it's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We think it's here.
and you can
Might be
check
there.
that out.
Right.
But you were saying there are 3 different types of grapes
of-
that went into this rosé.
Right. So the first one is a Syrah grape, right? And this red grape is sometimes called Shiraz.
Same grape, just
Right.
pronounced differently, spelled differently, depending on the region.
Right. And you can expect a range of aromas across flavors that your palate may pick up. Anything from strawberry, blackberry jam to tobacco, right? Now, for me, like I know, like for myself, you know, I like all sorts of berries. I like strawberry, blueberry, halle berry. I like all the berries that are
Berry
out,
man.
right?
He's the berry man.
So Hallie, if you're listening, right? So okay, and so when Syrah's used to make rosé, you get a fuller-bodied wine, right?
So think heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in your mouth, if you're thinking about talking about body, you want to think of it compared to water, right? Water's super light. You know, as you can start to feel it, compare water to milk, right? Water's super light, like a light body, right? If you're talking about something that's medium body, it's kind of halfway between like a water and a milk. If you're talking a full body, you can feel it. Like you feel it in your mouth. So this is going to give you a little bit more weight because of the Syrah than you would normally think of.
Right, and just normally I like a more weightier, thicker, more
Oh,
viscous
awesome. So you're gonna get some
wine,
of that.
right?
Yeah.
And so the other grape that's used is a Merlot grape,
my
right?
favorite grape.
It's known for stronger taste and earthier smells, right? Which also appeals to me. It's rarely ever used for a rosé, so this should be interesting.
Yeah.
And so right away we know that this is going to really kind of like maybe knock the cover off the ball. We'll see. So when used to make rosé, Merlot aromas tend to be red fruits like cranberry and strawberry.
Yeah.
So the Merlot here may also be contributing
so,
to
yeah.
the deep pink color that
Because usually
gives
it's
rosé.
lighter
Yeah, you
when
can
you
get,
look at rosés.
you can get a range
Yeah.
of rosés. Yeah, different things contribute to that color.
Yeah. Now the last grape in here is one that I always like to pronounce because it makes me sound fancy. Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ooh,
Ooh,
sexy.
well done.
Cabernet. Right. Sauvignon. Yeah. So it's one of the most popular red grapes, and you'll normally see this as a part of rosé wine because it adds a crisp, refreshing taste to the wine due to it being higher in acidity. Right. So it's going to provide a balance to the heaviness of the Syrah. All right. So we're gonna
Get right into it. Oh, you know, we didn't mention as you're
What's that?
pouring the hibiscus flower,
yeah,
yeah.
which is another element of this wine. Fun fact, in some parts of the world, the Pacific Islands, hibiscus is actually put into salads because it's one of the few plants that you can actually eat.
It's
an edible
edible.
flower.
wow.
Yeah,
It's
it's
an edible
awesome. And hibiscus tends to have, you know, like a really amazing aroma.
It smells
so I
like-
can't really wait to
This
stick my nose
smells
in
like
that. Yeah.
awesome. This smells like a flower shop.
Then we're gonna
It
get that
smells-
little effervescence. Are we seeing any bubbles on this one too? Oh, not as many bubbles on this one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it doesn't look
But
like it
it
has
smells like the smell
Oh
is
my
just
gosh.
right. I haven't even put my nose to it, and the whole area it just smells amazing.
You like want to stick your nose in it like all the way. Oh my god, that's
Explosive.
amazing.
And there's the fizz.
Like a little bit like that
On the
strawberry is like.
That's where the fizz
Yeah.
is on the bottom.
Do you smell that? The strawberry smell. I mean, it's enhanced, but it's like, whoa, that's amazing. Almost like a watermelon I get too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a discrete strawberry where it's like overpowering.
Yeah.
Because it does incorporate the hibiscus. Where you can
Yeah,
smell it,
sweetness,
where
yeah.
it's not like you're having a strawberry shortcake cake.
Yeah,
Right,
no, it's
right.
not. Yeah, it's not a sugar smell. Again, it's really about that like fruit. And if you give it just a little bit, you have to
Do that
swirl white
swig.
wine, but it'll give you awesome aroma,
Now look at
right?
that.
So again, the swirling here is for the purposes of breaking up some of that aroma to get it up to your nose, so you can get all. So we're like sticking our nose
No,
into the
it's-
glass, but it's so good.
Yeah, like if you had one of those reed diffusers, you know, this would
Give you that. Oh, Jay
nails
couldn't
it.
wait. He's
Oh,
in
oh,
it.
sorry.
Jay.
Yeah, cheers,
Oh,
cheers,
sorry.
cheers.
I was captivated by the fruits. I want to be honest. Sorry, guys, but the fruits really captivated me. Sorry.
This
Cheers.
one.
It doesn't usually happen, but the fruits,
I don't blame you because if it tastes as good as it smells, like wow.
So, light fizz,
Okay. Yeah, light fizz.
dry,
Yeah, this
definitely
was
dry.
fire.
It's
Mhm.
not like these were more flavorful.
Yeah.
And more like George said, his was tart. Mine was more on the balance. But this is a dry one, but it's good because the strawberry is not overpowering.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm tasting the earthy notes in it.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
And what do you guys think about it? Because already I'm a go for this.
I have to say, I'm tasting. I feel like what tastes more to me like flour. Like it's interesting. I was thinking I was gonna taste all that strawberry because the smell and the aroma was there. But if I'm honest, I'm not tasting a lot of fruit. I'm really tasting what tastes to me almost like a flower. I don't know if any of you
The hibiscus.
have had that like
It is.
occurrence where you're like, how can I taste flower? But I know what I'm tasting definitely has to be floral.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting is like a floral taste. But really interesting. Like I
Yeah.
don't know that I've
It's
had
the front
anything. Yeah,
The
I
hibiscus
haven't
is the
had
front.
anything this unique before
Mhm.
in a wine. So if you're looking for something that's definitely going to be different from anything you've ever had, a conversation starter, or just to like go with like a really interesting dish, this might be your wine.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, the two other bottles that we had here, the fruit
Was the front.
the
Yeah, was
front
the front.
runner.
Yep.
Now we have where the strawberry steps back,
Back.
and now the hibiscus comes
Hibiscus,
out.
yeah.
Hibiscus comes out,
Yeah.
and it has that earthy feel, but it's light. So, and there's not too much fizz.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm sorry I say that, but I'm not a fizz person. But this will go well with lots
A lot of things. Yeah, a good range. Yeah. So, what do you taste, George?
I do taste the hibiscus, right? Yeah, and so initially when we first poured it and before it got a chance to kind of settle in,
Fruity.
it was very fruity. Like I was getting a lot of the strawberry, but now as it's kind of settled in and that initial
Yeah, you get some air into it.
yeah. Right?
Mhm.
You know, yeah, it's more hibiscus. Then it started doing some other things where it was getting a little. I don't know, like the taste of the flower was overwhelming, right? And
okay.
so it had kind of like a bitter aftertaste
does
to
have
it,
the
And
dry
now,
taste.
yeah.
yeah. But then now the last few sips I've done, that bitter aftertaste is gone, and you know, for me, like just with the taste, because I like sweet things. I really like sweet things as I've
As
iterated.
you can tell by
and-
his wife.
yeah, exactly. But this kind of keeps me like coming back for more. This kind of like, you know, just especially just to even just get the scent, because the scent just keeps staying. So even though the wine may be like fluctuating a little bit as it opens up, the scent is like
Right there.
it's right there the whole time. Yeah,
And
I really love it.
It's so awesome because we've each had such unique tastes and aromas and things that have stood out to us about the wine. And, you know, here at Unfiltered Vines, that's what we're all about. It's all about the discovery of what your palate, you know, finds in the wines that they love, you know, what your palate is not crazy about, you know, your tongue is as unique as your
the lengths,
fingertips, right? So why shouldn't it be any different? You know, when you're having a wine. And so our wine experiences help you get into that. You know, today we're sampling elements. You know, our wine experiences allow you to sample different wines from around the world, different varietals, different regions, until you find the wine that's perfect for you.
It's all about you, and that's what we do at Unfiltered Vines.
Yeah, one of the great things that we do, you know, since we never take any advertising or like paid endorsements or anything like, so this wasn't a paid endorsement by Chateau Ste Michelle, right? You know, so we can give you unbiased, you know, our unbiased opinion, but the greatest unbiased opinion is your own. We don't have any horse in the race when it comes to a particular region of the world, whether it's South Africa, Europe, Napa Valley, or anything like that. Washington State, or like how we are right now. We're here in Virginia celebrating Virginia Wine Month. And yeah, it is. And this guy's birthday, right? Finally,
get a whoop whoop?
finally 2021, first round's on him, right? So,
I am over 21. Disclaimer.
right. When we find something that appeals to you after we do one of our wine experiences with you, and right now, due to circumstances, we're doing everything virtually. So just to bring you what you love. And like I said, we will scour the world to find that exact wine that appeals to your taste buds and your taste buds alone. So yeah, as Drea was saying, yeah, go to our website, check us out.
Link is in the description below. And don't forget
somewhere.
don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss anything else Unfiltered Vines.
And don't forget, wine on your own terms.
Bye everyone.
Take care.